and she has written, what do you call, test cases as well.
Uh-huh.
So how to write and everything, and
Yes.
so it's kind of basic only. It's not. If you go through the that document also, I will share manual. Just
Mm-hmm.
go through that,
Mm-hmm.
and if you have a doubt, just let's plan. Okay. So
Yeah.
if you're okay in this weekend, then let me know. If
Yes.
not, we'll take it.
Yes.
Uh, Shivanand, we don't have any answers end of that
Is it
sheet. Yeah, I can't see any answers.
okay?
Okay, it's not opening. Maybe.
1 second. I will check it. Okay, I'll share and I'll check and I'll share. Okay. So
Okay, okay, no problem.
as
Yes.
of now, as of now, don't refer that. I'll
Yeah,
send you one after this class. I'll send you one. Okay?
okay,
And one more sheet I will give you. I think this is a set two. Okay.
okay,
Set two. Okay. Check whether it is not. Okay. You can see set two. It has answers.
okay,
First two answer above, and later you can see. But this
mm,
is different than that one. Okay. As of now, I'll share this.
okay,
Okay.
okay.
So now okay, let me start with automation. Okay, uh, so like, can anyone tell what you understand? Like, basically, do you have any understanding of what is automation exactly?
Um,
Generally, in a
Generally, it's right. Manual testing is done manually, so automation is we write scripts instead of doing one job, repeated job. We can write scripts for the repeated job, which can be done by automation.
yeah, exactly. So what you're doing here is just launching the application and trying to log in, right? And you are entering password manually, and you're clicking here. So, but this is a if somebody asks you do it 100 times.
Mm,
So first 10 times you will do very carefully, and later you will get bored, and kind of it is a boring job, right? So because of that, to avoid that, because we have a regression test case, right? So where we need to run repeatedly whenever the code it changes. So that time we will be running some critical test cases, right? Kind of sanitary test cases. So for that we will be generating a script, then we will validate just running, and we will get the report. How many fail, why it is failed, everything. The tool itself will show everything. Okay. Let's see what is the overview. Okay. So now and so overview is okay. So we are taking Selenium is a tool, automation tool. It is open source tool. So which will support all the programming languages. Okay. It kind of Python, C sharp, right? So Ruby, Java, C++, right?
yeah.
All the languages. Okay. So I have given here free automation testing tool for web application. So what is web application?
The application which runs on the web.
Browsers, right?
Oh,
So yeah. So not in this. Okay. So we are just focusing on only web app. So we can. So for if you want to do it in mobile application, right? Here you have to install and run it. So in mobile, right? So that is a separate tool is a FM. Okay. So Selenium is basically for web application testing. Okay.
Mm.
And it is very powerful, and almost every company are using Selenium. Okay. So
mm,
in market it is very demand. So that is the reason. So we have chosen this tool. Okay. So for this syllabus as a syllabus, and it will support all the browsers. Okay, Firefox, Chrome, Opera. Okay, so we'll understand how it will be there. So basically, this tool will interact with different elements, right? So what does it mean, elements? So all these elements, if you see here, register, login, shopping cart, right? So they will call it as a element or object. Okay, see books, everything. Okay, so how it is there. So it will be shown in DOM substructure, right? See how it is written, everything, how it is designed, right? So this is what these are elements. Okay. So this tool will interact with the backend. Okay. So it will not show you like by writing the script. We'll understand that as well. Okay. So now let's see what is the course objective. Okay. So first is understanding Selenium IDE. Okay. So next we have understand of web elements, understand of TestNG framework, JUnit, then take screenshot using Selenium, unexpected extent, sorry, understanding the extent reports, handling the Windows pop-ups, alerts, right? And various frameworks are there. So what is framework also we'll understand what is that and all. Okay. So these all things we will be discussing in this course. Okay, one by one. As we already know, so you should have some basic knowledge of Docker since you guys have not done. So we see that. And, okay, so we have all these. So we have 14 chapters. Okay, we'll understand that. Then we have resume preparation and everything that is also will be taken at the last. So let's continue with module one. Okay, which is introduction to automation testing. Okay, so in this we will be learning about automation testing and when to automate applications. That is very important, right? So when
Mm.
exactly at what situation we will go with automation testing? What all criteria we will consider, right? For everything will be, and what is the disadvantage, advantage also we'll discuss in this module one. Okay. So now, what is automation testing? It is a software testing technique which will perform special automated testing software tools, right, to execute the test case suite. So we remember that we have already written a test cases, right? So like step one, launch the application, right? Step
Mm.
two, enter the name, right? So like that only. So we will also write it here. Okay.
Yeah.
So these are test suite is nothing but a group of test. Okay. So how many we have written here? So test case one, two, three, four, five, right? So like that. So we have six test cases. So test suite is nothing but it is a collection of test cases. Okay, so
Mm.
that entire test case we call it as a test suite. Okay, so it is a automation testing is nothing but it is a software testing technique which will perform the special automated testing software tool to execute test cases. Okay,
Mhm.
and manual testing is performed by human, right? So sitting in front of computer and you will execute, you will follow all the steps, right? So what is the first step? What is the second step, right? You will refer the Excel sheet and you will validate actual and expected result, right? So that is about manual testing. But automation testing, you will write the script and you will run it. So tool will only so validate. Okay, so we'll understand that. First, we will understand basic concept type. So before going to direct scripting, right? So let's see what all we have here. So which test case to automate, right? So test
Mm.
cases which requires repeatedly. So let's say if
Yeah.
you want to run same set cases tomorrow, so right. So and also critical test cases, right?
Mhm.
And test cases that are repeatedly executed, right, which will require, and test cases are very tedious, I told you, right, and if it is difficult to perform, and
Mm.
test cases which will consume a lot of time. So let's say there is a test cases, I'll go here camera. Okay, so I will add to cart again, I will go to cart and I'll check out, right? So see a lot of steps are involved here, right? So I'll add it here, I think. Okay, I'll add it here, it will go to shopping cart. So then you'll go here and you'll go to checkout, right? So here, checkout. I'll agree and I'll checkout. So then you have to enter all your name. So here I have not logged in. It is asking. Okay. So you'll go to you have to give shipping address, right? So time of delivery, and you have to enter payment everything. So till confirmation page, it is very long steps are involved, right? So in that case also you can go for automation. Okay, the
Mhm.
test cases are very lengthy and time consuming, right? So these are the four factors you have to consider while like automating any test cases, right?
Mm.
So let's see why we go for automation testing. It is a 70% faster than manual, right? So if you're doing one shopping cart flow, it will do seven test cases at a time. So it kind of 70% more than manual. It is very fast. Okay, we will see that how it is fast and everything. And it is a wide test case coverage, right? And reliable result, right? Exact result you will get it. Okay, because it is a will not show any error, right? So in pass or fail, right? So everything. It will ensure the consistency. It will save the time and cost, right? So why? Let's say if 100 test cases are run by four testers, so that 100 test case can be done by only two, right? We can reduce the cost and time. So that is the reason nowadays. So resources are getting reduced, right? Everything is handled by tools, right? So improve the accuracy. Human intervention is not required, right? It will increase the efficiency, better speed of executions, right? And reusable test script. Same test cases you can copy and run it here and there. You can only change the URL and everything, right? That is a reusable. So whenever you want to run the test cases frequently or thoroughly, right? So that is more cycle of execution can be achieved through automation. So early to market. What does that mean? If you have an under test case, you can finish in 4 days instead of 10 days, right? So
Mm.
instead of 10 days, that means if you are testing manually, it will take time. But here, if you finish the test case, everything in 4 days or something, so you can release the software to market. That
Mm.
is the advantages. Okay. So now coming to disadvantage. Okay, test like automation testing is very expensive than manual
Mm.
testing. What does it mean? You have to buy the tool, right? So and you should have a trainer, right? So somebody has should have a technical knowledge, coding knowledge, right? In manual testing, coding knowledge is not required, right? But in automation testing, you should have some basic coding knowledge, right? And it has limited to some organization, right? So not all organizations use automation, okay? Because not all people are having technical coding knowledge and everything. Because of that, so they will not go for automation. Okay, automation testing would require additionally trained and skilled people. I told you. What does it mean? Skilled people, nothing but they should have some coding knowledge and everything, right, to write the script. So automation testing will only remove the mechanical execution of testing process, but creation of test cases also, because how we have written from requirement document. So here also in automation testing also same you have to write the script. So again it will take the time as well, right? So that is what. Okay.
Mm.
So it will not cannot be used for GUI element or graphic, right? So what does it mean? Let's say so you cannot validate color of this shopping cart, right? So as per business requirement, so it should be shopping cart should be in blue color. So you cannot validate in automation tool. Or let's say if you have some what do you call some captcha or scanner, right? So that is also you cannot I mean you cannot automate it. Okay. So here captcha will be there, right? So where you'll keep on changing that code, right? So that also dynamic, right? So that you cannot do the automation testing. Okay. So those are limitation of automation testing. Okay. So now let's go to next topic. Okay, that is the module one. Okay. So module one is just introduction of automation tool and advantage and disadvantage of tool when you have to automate everything we have covered. So in model 2 what we are going to do is we are going with automation tool which is Selenium. Okay,
Mm.
we'll discuss briefly about this and how it is, how it there are many tools are there. Okay, so QTP is a quick test process. Okay, Selenium IDE nothing but integrated development environment. Selenium RC nothing remote control. Okay, Selenium WebDriver is a Selenium Grid is okay. So these are the four component of this Selenium tool. Okay.
Mm.
So now let's see when it was who has introduced this one, right? So it was came into market in 2004 by Jason Higgins. Okay, so this guy, while he was working in software test, right? So he came up with some challenges, right? So where the application that requires frequent testing. Okay, he created program using JavaScript. Okay, after that using it, he realized shortcoming of manual testing and need of curve monitor monotony, right? So same same thing again and again. Don't want to do it. So because of that, considering those challenges, he has like uh, thought of why can't we go with a tool, right? So that is how uh, it came into picture of automation tool. Okay, so why Selenium tool, right? So why Selenium tool? Nothing but it will support all the languages. Okay, and it will support. It is a open source. Okay, it is free. No need to pay anything for this.
Mm.
Okay, and it will allow developer to ship the new releases faster and confidence everything. Considering all this, because QTP and APM those are all licensed. Tosca is you have to pay money, right? So
Mm.
kind of millions of dollars, right? Instead of that, so since it is a free and it is available for everyone, so that is why. So all the companies, so they are going with Selenium tool. Okay. So now let's see other tool comparison between Selenium tool and the other tools. Okay, so Selenium can test parallel using grid. What does it mean? Same test case you can run in different browser at a time. In one time, only one click, it will open all the browser and it will run at a time. Okay, so that is what parallel testing. So QTP, this is again a quick test progress. It is again a automation tool. Okay, so it cannot support parallel testing. And another commercial tool is HP Quality Center or QC is needed. And Selenium support only. We know that web application only. QTP support both desktop and web application. Okay, so but QTP is not a open source. Okay, you have to pay money. Okay, so QTP is a commercial tool. Okay, each license has to be purchased. Like how we will purchase antivirus, right? So for this 1 year, then again you have to pay money, right? So that is what. So then Selenium will support different browsers. QTP will only specific version of Firefox and Chrome IE, but not all the browsers, only three browsers. Okay. So Selenium can execute script across various operating systems, right? So you can run Linux, Windows, right? Mac, OS, right? But here QTP will support only Windows. Okay.
Okay.
And Selenium has mobile device support in itself. You can also use the mobile device for web application testing. But QTP also support the mobile device only with support of third-party tool. What does it mean? You should have install some other tool in order to automate a mobile application uh, automation. Okay, and Selenium will execute REST case within the browser. Not much attention is needed during execution. Okay, but QTP by you have to act by mimicking user to act on browser. Hence, it needed the attention. You have to look into it while running this script, right? But in Selenium, it is not like that. You just click one button and you just go for tea or break. So after coming from back, all the test case will execute it, right? So we get the report. Okay. And we have already seen that parallel testing and support web application and Selenium does not support object repository. Okay. So object repository, we will understand that what does it mean. Okay. So in Selenium cannot access control the browser itself. Okay. What does it mean? So you have to install some add-ins to control the browser. You should have some other software you have to install it. We'll understand what all you have to install. Okay, and Selenium does not have built-in test generation system. Okay, what does it mean? So we have prepared a report, right? So kind of what do you call uh, this is right? How many test case pass, fail, percentage, everything, right?
Mm.
But in order to generate the report, you should have again you have to install one more tool. Okay, we'll understand that as well. in Selenium. Okay, but in QTP it has by default it has a report generation. Okay, Selenium user rely on programming language for parameterization. Okay, so you should know the at least one language to in order to automate the application. But QTP inbuilt, it is very easy to implement it. Okay, but these are the disadvantages and advantages between these two. But nobody will ask. But just it kind of general knowledge like why we are referring Selenium rather than QTP. Okay, and disadvantage of Selenium. Okay, between this and this. Okay, as it will support only web application. Okay, and no features such as object repository, and you should have like integrated development environment. Nothing but you have to install some other tools. Okay, you cannot access the browser. We all will understand what is this. Okay, like what does it mean and everything. So no default test case report generation, right? So where we have discussed above only. So these have are listed out here. Okay, so now what all component of Selenium, right? So we have four component, right? So the first one is Selenium IDE, right? Selenium IDE, nothing but IDE stand for Integrated Development Environment. Okay. Second component of Selenium is Selenium Remote Control. Third component of Selenium is WebDriver. Fourth is Selenium Grid. Okay. So these are the component of Selenium. Okay. So we'll understand one by one what is that and everything. Okay. So these are okay. So earlier, only Selenium ID was there initially. Okay. So later, it has some dependency and challenges. They have stopped using this tool, and they have started using Selenium remote control. Okay. So again, it will support only Firefox browser. It will not support Chrome or IE. So again, they have implemented another version which is Selenium WebDriver. Okay. It is a combination of Selenium remote control plus Selenium WebDriver. So they will call it as a Selenium 3. Okay, like kind of 2.1, 3.0, right? So it is a version. So now we are saying as a Selenium 3. It is a combination of
Okay.
Selenium RC alone, they will call it as a Selenium 2.
Okay.
Okay, so combining these two, and later since Selenium WebDriver will support only like kind of standalone, a kind of you have to run only one script at a one time to
Mm.
overcome that to parallel testing, right? So they have introduced Selenium Grid. Okay, so now in the market, Selenium WebDriver and the Selenium Grid is very important. You should have a knowledge. Okay, so let's go one by one. So what is Selenium ID? Okay, Selenium ID is a integrated development environment. It is a plugin. So what does it mean? It is a small software where you have to install within Firefox browser. Okay. See, if you type here Selenium IDE plugin, okay, you can see here, or you can say plugin instead of plugin. Also, you can say add-on. Okay. So you have to install that small software in here. You can see that add-on, right? So where we'll see that we'll install that one. Okay, not to worry. So it is one of the simplest framework. Okay, for the Selenium suite, it will allows record and playback the script. Okay, it doesn't require any coding language. Okay, so you just what you have to do, you just have to click and record, and wherever you will click, let's say you will click in login, you entering username password and click in login, it will capture, it will record all the steps. Then later you have to play back. So it kind of you capture like you will record the video in your phone.
Mm.
Later you will play it, right? So same only here. Okay, we will do the exercise. Not to worry.
Okay.
Okay. And in Selenium ID, test execution is very slow. That is a one disadvantage. And report generation and steps are not good as compared to other component. So
Mm.
what does it mean? So it 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 it, it, it has no option to generate the report.
Mm.
Okay, and test case steps also not. I mean, not to easily understand. It will not support execution parallel. Okay, these are disadvantages. Okay, because of that, so they have gone with another tool which is remote control, Selenium WebDriver, right? So kind of. Okay, so these are there. So drawback, okay, disadvantage. So we're just understanding it theoretically of Selenium IDE, Selenium
Yeah.
RC. So later we will install everything practically. We will understand. First we will understand definitions and what is
Mm,
that and everything. Okay. So now we have a Selenium remote control. It is also known as Selenium 1. Okay, or
mm,
1.0.
mm,
So was the main Selenium project for long time. Okay, before WebDriver came into picture, so Selenium root remote control was very famous during that period, like kind of 2006 or 8. Okay,
mhm,
and it will rely on JavaScript, and you should have knowledge on Ruby, PHP, Python, any one language. Okay, and what all it feature is, it is a based on JavaScript. It doesn't support record and playback. Okay, it doesn't have any option to record and playback. Okay, and it is based on client and architecture, which will you want to execute test cases, everything. You should have a server, right? So what does it mean? You have to install some tools. Okay, then you have to turn on that tool, then only you can do the automation. So that is also is there, and it will support parallel execution as well remote execution within the Selenium grid. Okay, so once we have started using that Selenium grid, so this part is very important. So we'll understand that as well. Okay, so drawback of Selenium RC, whenever you want to execute test case, you should start the Selenium standalone server manually, as I told, right? So let's say, so if you have a water tank on your terrace, right? So
mm,
every time if you're what do you call, if you're staying in third floor, you have to come down and start the motor manually, right?
mm,
So again and again. So in that case, you have to switch on the button every time, right?
mm,
So here also one person, right? So one person has to do click on somewhere to run this script. This is why
mm,
disadvantage. In order to overcome that, so they have introduced Selenium WebDriver, which is famous nowadays and in current market also. Okay,
mm.
so what is Selenium WebDriver? It is a browser automation framework. Framework, nothing but it is a, like a what do you call it? Is it will be having steps
Steps. Yeah.
and tools, right, and libraries to use to which will help us to automate the script. Okay, so that accept the so this will web driver, it will communicate directly to your browser. Okay,
Mm,
so it will ask the Selenium tool to open the Chrome browser and click on here, right? So it will interact with everything. It will accept the comment, right?
mm,
Comments. Let's say if you are asking open the Chrome browser, it will accept the comment and it will do as you said in script. So that command will send to the browser. Okay,
mm,
so it is a browser specific driver. Driver nothing but something. Okay, let's say if you're this is a tool. Okay, let me do it. Okay. Later we'll install this tool as well. I'm just showing you how
yeah.
exactly it looks like. Here I'm just trying to run this. Okay, there is a run option. See here, it automatically open. I didn't do anything. You can see my mouse or is on there. Okay, it
Mm,
launches the URL automatically. Right. So that is how it, and it is closed. Right. You can see what all it has done. Right. So this is what. Okay, at 4 p.m. January 2004, it has opened the URL everything. Okay, so this has done everything. Okay, so this is a skill. We'll understand one by one. Okay, so that is what it will accept the comment and it will do whatever you told. Right, I told here. So what I told, I have initiated a browser. You go to this Chrome driver, open it. You have to launch this URL. Okay,
mm,
then you have to maximize the window. It waited 1 second and it will close the browser.
Okay.
We'll understand that as well. Okay.
Mm.
So it will directly communicate to the browser only. I told you, right? It will launch the browser and it will close it. Okay. And it will control it. Whatever you say, it will do it.
Mm.
Okay. So again, it will support all the languages. Okay, programming languages. Anyone if you know, so that is fine. Okay. So and all the operating system browsers, right? So these all everything it will support.
Mm.
Okay. So
Okay.
now Selenium grid. Okay, so this is the last component of Selenium.
Mm.
Uh, so again, this is a tool which will use to together. We already told, right? So you should have a Selenium RC and then you have to install this, right? So it will help us to run the different browsers in parallel, right? So
Mm.
multiple test cases at same time. What does it mean, right? So let's say if you are running same test cases, right? Test case one, okay. Test case one is
Mm.
username password. Test case two incorrect username, right? So something. Three test cases are there. Three test cases in 10 seconds you can do it at a time. Right? So
Okay.
sequential. That is what in parallel testing. Okay. Or let's say if you want to run same test cases, test case one I have to run in all three browser. Okay,
Mm.
Firefox, all three browser at a time it will open, at a
Mm.
time it will run it, and at a time it will close it. So that is what parallel testing. Okay.
Okay.
Sequential testing nothing but you have to run one by one. Okay, this is the first, second, like that. We'll understand that as well. So that is about we have completed module one and two out of 14 modules of automation. Okay. So before that, so now we have understand the basic concept of Selenium. Okay.
Mm.
So what is advantage? What is disadvantage? What is Selenium IDE? What is Selenium remote control? What is a web driver? What is Git? Right. So now
Mm.
we have to understand. In order to become a automation tester, you should have a knowledge of Java.
Mm.
Right. So
Mm.
since you guys told you don't have, so I have prepared this basic concept.
Mhm.
Okay, so let's go one by one. What is Java and everything? Okay.
Okay.
So here we are talking about Java. Okay. So what is Java? What is its features? Right. So we will understand that and what is the different types of data, right? So and data types, control statements, right, with examples. So all these we will be discussing in this model. Okay.
Mhm.
So now let's go to Java. Okay. So Java is a popular language, programming language. It is came into market so in 1995, which is
Mhm.
owned by Oracle. Okay, Oracle is a software company, so
Mm.
which has owning this Java. Okay, so more than 3 billions using nowadays, right? It is kind of very everywhere. So they're using Java, right? So programming language. Okay, so it is why it is used for, right? So it is a programming language. We know that. So where
Mm.
exactly it is used? Mobile application, right? So specifically, if you have a mobile application kind of flight booking or something, right?
Mm.
So in that case, you should have a what do you call flight booking application. How it is developed by using Java application, right? So the desktop applications, web applications, right? So how they have designed this software application, right? By using the Java, right? So everything. So this is what. And if you have a games, right? So we will install the games in your mobile. How it is developed by using Java, right?
Okay.
Data connection and much more. Okay, so much things. How will do transaction UPI, or you will transfer the money to somebody, right? So because of Java only. Okay. So this is the what. So and we have a JDK, JRE, and JVM. Okay, so it is a component of Java only. We have to understand, right? We have to understand the three terminology for Java, right? So here I have given the basic idea about these. Okay,
Mm.
so let's understand what is JDK, right? So it is
Okay.
a Java development kit, right?
Mm.
So let's say what does it mean? Let's say if you are running some program. Okay, so I'll give you here basic programs. This folder. So here I have written adding number. Okay, so A and B is a you're trying to add this number. Okay, So what is the sum of A and B?
113.
Sorry,
113.
113. Okay.
Yeah.
So if I say here, so now tell me quickly, can you tell me? It is very difficult, right?
Yeah.
So now it is a fraction of second you will get the result. Okay. Sum of
Okay.
number is, if you do calculation also,
Yeah.
so you're just adding number 2 here. Instead of 77771, it is a
Mm.
3, 73.
Okay.
But looking at suddenly you will not do it, right? So
Yes.
this is what
Yes.
JDK, where you're doing it, it is a development. You are developing something here,
Mm-hmm.
Java development kit, and you are running it. So that is
Okay.
what, right? We can develop, compile. What does it mean? You're just getting the compile. Compile nothing but it is trying to add it correctly,
Mm.
right?
Mm.
That is what compile. Okay, what does it mean? It is a running it, execute, right?
Mm.
So you can develop a script or develop the code, compile, then execute, right?
Mm.
It's in new application. It is also we can modify application, or you can, right? So we, because if you want to write this code, you should have a install the JDK. I have launched this JDK, right? So you can see Eclipse IDE, right? So development. This is what development. Okay.
Okay.
So then, so where exactly developer will use this? Okay, they will install the in their machine, means laptop, and they will develop the application and modify the application, right? So we have understand, right? So how the software application are developed, tested, and released to the market, right? So this is what. So they will use this tool and to develop the code, right? They will design it, and they will ask us to test it. So right. So then we have a JRE, Java Runtime Environment. Okay. So
Mm.
this is again a component of Java. So we can only execute already developed application.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Let's say, so there is a demo web shop. This is the application. Okay. So this is the
Mm.
application. So you cannot modify anything. Okay. Let's say if you try to modify here. So let's see. I'll try to modify this spelling of demo web shop. Okay. See here, percentage demo web shop. But I, I can edit the attribute here, right? So you can see here, I'll do only instead of that web shop.
Okay.
Okay. So now I'll save it here. This option, I'll just click on save. Okay. Save desktop. Okay. So I'll go to my desktop. Uh, okay. So launch this, but it has not changed the web shop. I have given only web shop. I have removed demo,
Mm.
but still it is showing same thing. It is not allowing to edit it. Okay.
Okay.
So let's see. All the files are there. Okay, so that is what Java runtime execution does, right? So which will allow the developer to edit their program. So later, what will client will come? I don't want this black color. I need the white color of text, or the shopping cart might be changed. If you
Mm.
see in the what you call Uber Eats, right? So every time they're changing something, right? So color, or they're changing. If you used 1 year back, so this look and feel is different. Okay, so now there might be this text was in blue color, right? Somewhere, right? So how they're changing? By changing this using JRE. This is the tool, right? They will modify application. So you cannot modify the existing application, right? So we didn't allow us, right? If
Mm.
you want run it, it didn't allow us to modify it, right? So that is what. So that is what Java runtime runner. So it is only used for, it will execute the already existing application. So now what is JVM? Java Virtual Machine. Okay. So what does it mean? So if you have a written a code here, so how exactly it is calculating, right? So it is converting this byte code. number
Mm-hmm.
into byte. So and then it is publishing the result, right? So where all these mechanism is happening backend, right? So that is what Java virtual machine, right? So it will drive the Java code using JVM. You can run the bytecode by converting them into current OS machine language, right? So that is what. Okay. So this is what Java about Java introduction and its component, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then we have some syntax. Okay, in order to use this Java tool, you should follow the syntax, right? So
Okay.
what does it? So let's say if you are writing some paragraph, first letter you will follow always in capital letter, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's you can see here after the comma it should be capital letter. Okay, so let's see somewhere. See here, this is a one sentence. Next sentence you are using first letter in capital. So that is a standard, right? So everybody. So we have learned in our school or colleges, right? So here also in Java, you should know the syntax of Java. Okay. So Java is a case sensitive. Okay, I'll show you what does it mean. Let's say I will use this P in capital. Okay, public class says it. I'll use it capital. See here, it is
Mm-hmm.
showing error, right?
Yeah.
Syntax error, right? So that is what it is a case sensitive. You should be very careful. Okay. So example name and capital name and small letter is not same. Even the meaning is same, but it is not same as for Java language. Okay, that is why that is how it is sensitive.
Mm-hmm.
And Java file name should start as it is class name. So what does it mean? So let's say if you are writing some script. Okay, you should have a same. Okay, see here adding numbers dot Java I have given. Okay, here also it has taken same name, adding numbers, right? If you go here for loop print times, okay, if I click here, see here, it has taken the name. So that is what Java file, it will be having same as class name. We'll understand that. So what is class? What is the class name? And I told you always if you creating a class, you should start with uppercase. I told you here, right? So if you give small letter instead of F,
Mm-hmm.
it will throw an error. If you
Yeah.
give, right, it will go error. Right? So this is what. Okay. So remember it. Method name should start with lowercase. Okay. What is method here? I have created method here. Okay. I'll show you here method. Method is a function. Okay. Here it is a main method is there. Okay. Inside this, so it is a syntax of method. Okay. Whenever let's say I have used another execution, right? Driver somewhere. Okay. Launch URL. Okay. See here close. This is a function. What it does, it will close the browser. Okay. This get what it does, it will launch the URL. Okay. Let's say I'll remove here.
Mm-hmm.
I'll ask only launch it .com. So what this function? Okay, it started with small letter, right? So that
Yeah.
is the syntax of Java. Methods should start with small letter. If I try to run this program, it will launch the dot mean com only. See here, it open the browser. Okay, control. Okay, you can see Chrome is being controlled by automated test case software,
Yeah.
but it is not launching that URL, right? So which is incorrect. It is waiting. So it will throw an error. See here, and 457 it has started unable to find CDP implementation matching one to. This is the error. Okay, now if you give HTTP, always the application URL will start with HTTP. Then only it is a protocol, right? So now it will launch that. Let's see. I hope so. Okay, it launched and it closed.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that is what. Okay, if you see here, HTTP, right? This is how it is written. Okay, to launch Facebook, it will launch Facebook. Let's see. Again, I have given a mistake, right? Instead of PS, I have given That is why it is not launching.
Mm.
So now it will launch. See here.
Yes.
So this is what. Okay. So I'm going to close it. We'll understand. Okay. I will ask you. I will give you homework as well. Everything. Not to worry.
Mm.
But we'll understand first basic. So every statement should be ends with semicolon. That is the Java. Okay. So you can see here. This is a line of code. This is again a code. All the lines are ended by semicolon.
Mm.
Okay, even if you open anything, we'll understand that one. Once you install the software, right? I'll show you how to install and everything in next classes, right? So we'll
Okay.
come up with that. Okay. So Java execution start from main method. So that is very mandatory. What does it mean? So this is the main method. If you remove it, it will not run it.
Mhm.
So this line is very important. In all the program, if you take any program, okay, I'll show you some Java in Google only. Let's say so Java program for multiplication. Okay. So if you go here, okay, if you go here, see here, all the lines are ended by semicolon.
Yeah.
Observe, right?
Mm.
So this is what, and this all the program it has started with main method. Without this method, you cannot run program. Even
Okay.
though if all the code is right, but if this method is not there, it will not run. Okay. So this is what. Okay. So these are very important six items for syntax. If you remember this, then only you will understand the Java. Okay, please remember and try to understand it. So, any question on these six?
Mm.
All clear?
Yes.
Or you have any clarification on point five or point four or point one or something? All good?
Yeah.
Padma, Prashanti.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now let's understand installation of Java, and that is next step is it. But we will and first we'll finish this, then we'll go for. I have
Yeah.
here installation of Java step by step. Okay, not to worry.
Mm.
So what is Java? It is a high level,
Mm.
object oriented, robust, secure programming language, right? Platform independent, high performance, multi-thread, portable, okay,
Mm.
and programming language. Okay, so now you have to understand. Okay, so what is object oriented, robust, secure, right? So platform independent, that nothing but you can run the same program in any machine. Okay, you just I'll share this file and you can run it in any machine. Okay, that is what. And portable, nothing but you can share with anyone. So features of Java programming language. Okay, so it is a very simple. Java is easy to learn, and syntax of Java is based on C++. That is another programming. Based on that, they have incorporated here as well. To write any program, you should know the syntax, right?
Mm.
Because follow the case sensitive. You should follow the capital letter of class. You should follow the semicolons should be there at the end of the line of code, right? Everything. Object oriented, nothing but you should follow the object paradigm, which will allow us to maintain our code as combination of different types of object. So what does it mean? So let's say there is a car is here. Okay. So we'll understand that as well. Okay. What is object and all. Okay. So object nothing but it is a representative of class. These are whatever we have written, all they will call it as a object. Okay. And portable, once you write, it will support read once, write anywhere. So what does it mean? So you can also write same program in your machine, right? So billions of users, if you can write same program, same lines in your machine. So that is what portable. Platform independent, right? So what does it mean? So if you want to run this same program, I will what I'll do, I'll share this file to you. Okay, you can run this program in your machine or laptop. It doesn't. It is not like depends on operating system. You can use any system, any laptop, right?
Mm.
Secure, right? So secure means security, right? So that is why, right? So it will take care all the security of the application is developed, right? It is a robust. It is very strong language, right? So that is why we consider Java is very important and very strong programming language, that it uses strong memory management, right? So everything exception handling everything. Okay. So inherited. Okay, we'll understand that. Multi-thread also will understand. Okay, and dynamic. It will support dynamic classes. Okay, it means that you are loaded on demand. It will also support function from native language, that is C, C++. The same thing you can use in Java as well.
Mm.
But Java is not a pure object oriented. Okay, so but C and C++ is pure object oriented. That is also programming languages. Okay, so it will support primitive data types. Okay, we'll understand that as well. I have covered what is the data type in. See here, you can see here, right? Data types and examples.
Mm.
Okay, and how it is different from other programming languages are compared to C++. C++ is only compiled language, whereas Java is compiled, interpreted language. Java programmer machine independent. Okay, so where C++ can only run in machine which is compiled. So what does it mean? If you have written in this code, okay, so if you have modified the code in this system, you have to run the same code in that system only. You cannot copy and to paste it in some other. But in Java, what I'll do, I will copy and I'll share in your WhatsApp. What you'll do,
Mm.
you'll copy, you'll run it in your system,
Mm.
right? That is Java. But C++ it will not support. Okay. So what you understand by JVM, Java Virtual Machine, so that we have already discussed previously, right? So I have given some differences here. So who
Mm.
will use JDK? Who will use JRE? Who will use JVM? Right? So okay, first I have given what is meant of JDK JRE. Okay, and JDK is nothing but it is a necessary tool to compile, right, everything packages. Okay, and JRE refers runtime environment in which Java bytecode can be executed, right? So this will convert bytecode in uh, backend, and it will convert and it will show the result only. Okay. JVM, it is a abstract machine. It is an specific that will provide the runtime environment in which bytecode, right? So this is like where it is running this, right? So this is Java virtual machine only, right? So this is in my machine. I have installed this Java. It is running it. So that is what it is running by converting. Okay, every whichever you take. Okay, all bytecode, nothing but. So let's say 10. What is the byte code of 10? Okay. So it will convert
Your voice is not clear.
in back
You're breaking.
end. Okay.
It's breaking still.
Let's see. I'll show you. Okay.
You're
I think
breaking.
you guys have seen some. Is it fine now?
Yeah.
Okay. Is it fine now?
Yeah, it's fine now.
Okay, so we have understand, right? So what is the byte code, right? So how we have considered 1 kilo. So this is a different thing. Okay, so in numbering system, okay, decimal. So you have to convert the byte into this one, right? So this is. Okay, let's see. So this will convert byte. Okay, by base of 2. then it will convert the number in backend. Okay, so that is what it is. All the computer operating system is based on bytecode, which we cannot see it. So that is the understanding of tool. But in front end, we will see the result exactly. Or let's say if you are trying to print something, okay, let's say you are printing hello, okay, so it will type hello. See here,
Mm-hmm.
whatever you written, it will return, right? So how it is written in backend, it is taken care by JVM. Okay, so JDK, it consists of JRE plus development tools. Okay, but JRE is implementation of JVM, which will physically exist. JVM follows the three notations: specification, implementation, runtime, instance. Okay, so now we will understand how many types of memory areas are allocated JVM. What does it mean? Memory, nothing but. So I'm printing this hello, where it is saving, right? Because it printed, but it should have saved somewhere, right? So in my machine only, right? So that is what we they will call it as a memory area, right? So if you are using class or method, so it will store as per that class or file or field, right? So these are memory areas of JVM. Heap is there. So heap is nothing but whenever you are running data, right? So let's say you are running the data, nothing but I'm just adding this number where it is saving, right? So sum of this where it is saving somewhere in my machine, right? So this is what. So runtime, while running only it is saving. It has created some memory for this many bytes, right? So it might be 1 KB or 1 MB or 2 MB, right? So it is creating memory for that. Stack is there to store the frames, right? And programming counter registration register is there, and native method stack is there. So these kind of storing something. Okay, let's say if you are storing, you are downloading movie and you are storing in your somewhere, but in same in Java also, whatever you write the code, everything it will be saved in your machine. Okay, to save that code, it should have created some memory, right? So that is what. Okay, all the allocation these will happen in backend. Okay, so then there is a JIT is a Java like just in time compiler. Okay, so what does it mean? In fraction of second, it will print whatever number you give, right? So if you give n number of numbers in letters, right? If you give here also, so it is throwing an error because the length of is out of range, right? The memory allocation is not there.
Mm-hmm.
That will comes under data types. Okay, we'll understand that. So now that only it is allowing because this is an
Two
integer
digits.
the length. Okay, now it has gone.
Mm.
Or I'll give here. Okay, see here this is sum, but this sum is stored in your machine, but which you cannot see. For that it has created, but in fraction of just in time only, right? So this is a compiled, right? It has given output.
Mm.
So then we'll understand what is static void main string. So I told you every program. This is a start. This is a main line code should be there. If you go here also, they have written this. If you go here also, they have written everywhere. You will see this. What does it mean? Okay. So we'll understand what is main. Main is the entry for every program. I told you, right? If you return this main, if you not written, you cannot run it. Though it is not showing error, right? See here, it is not showing error. Okay, I'll show you simple here since it is long. See here, I will not write
Main.
main. Okay, I'll write only MA. So I'll try to run this program. I should get the, see here, it is not showing option at all.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Java application. Or if, see here, see here,
Mm.
Java class must be extend application and please define the main method.
Okay.
It is giving a what you call hints. Right?
Mm.
It should have this one.
Okay.
Then only it will run it. So that is what main method. Okay.
Mm.
Without that, it is an entry point for all the program you write it. Okay. So then why we are using this public, right? So it is used by and accessed by anyone. Okay, it is an access modifier. If you give private, I only can execute this. Okay, that is also we say in detail. We'll understand. Okay, and static, it is a keyword. Okay, it is a static is a keyword which will identify the class based. Okay, if you use a static, okay, it will consider as a, it is a class.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, here
Shivanand,
public. Oh,
so we
sorry.
are
Yeah.
continuing. So what time is the class finish? Are we continuing or
No, no, no. I'm just trying to finish this at least fundamental. Just 1 or 2 minutes. Okay.
okay? So
Yeah.
this Java. Do we need to have deep knowledge of Java, or the high level knowledge is okay for
No, fundamental is fine. If you have a like in-depth core Java, that means you will become a developer,
developer?
not test.
Yeah.
Right. So basic knowledge is enough. So that is what we are discussing here.
Okay.
Okay. So and it has a static. Just go through it. Okay. If you are getting late. So and these are. So next classes we will install the Java. Okay. Then I'll give you the live only. So you yourself only will write something so that you will become a expert, right?
Mhm.
So uh,
So we'll get an idea to how to write a, like small programs
yeah,
in
yeah, yeah.
Java.
Yes, yes. So that is what actually prerequisite of this course was you should have some basic knowledge, but instead of that, you guys have not having. So I have prepared for you
Mm.
very in depth. So
Mm,
you'll understand it, okay, each and everything.
Mm.
So only thing is you have to practice it.
yeah.
Just
Okay, then only you'll get
how
it.
to start a program, how to end a program.
Ah, yes, yes, yes. I'll teach you. No worries. Okay.
Okay.
So the steps will be same, or do we need to write different scripts for each application or the feature?
We will understand that as well. Okay. So
Okay.
I told you already syntax, Java syntax you have to follow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
So let's say if you can write instead of AR also you can write as a Padma. Okay.
Mm,
Mm.
Padma here Prashanti.
Okay.
Anything.
mm-hmm.
But again you have to here you have given A and B, right? So this
Yes,
is
yes,
incorrect.
we have to change that.
Because you have to refer it.
Yeah.
So that is how some rules are there. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
I will copy here. I will instead of B, I will paste her name. Okay.
Mm.
So here also you have to write Padma
Padma plus
Prashanti.
Prashant. Yes.
So then only it will give the result of sum.
Yeah.
So it is not a meaningful, right? Padma and Prashanti. So that is
Mm.
the reason we were just defining A plus B in our maths. We cannot say Ram plus Razu, right? So A plus B whole square something is there. So that is what if it is mathematics you have to do. It should be some meaningful. Okay, it is not like whatever you comes in your mind you write it, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So according to that we have to follow it. But it will give the answer. But somebody looked at it what he is doing, right?
Mm.
So he is doing Padma in person. What he's doing, you will not understand exactly, right? Unless it is written meaningfully. So that is what we will follow it. Okay. So we'll understand. You'll understand one by one. Okay. So since it is a very new, right? So just go through the whatever we have discussed. Try to
Yeah.
understand.
Sure.
Okay. And or you search. Okay. I'll share this whatever we have discussed. Syntax. What is JVM, JDK? What is Java? What is Selenium? Grid? Everything. Just go
Mm.
through in once, or if you want. If not, we will start tomorrow. Okay.